Hello, this is some help with quiz 3.14. 3.14 was working with the area of a circle, actually the area of a sector. And so what you needed to remember is the formula for the area of the sector is on the EOC sheet. But wanted to point out that if you look at pi r squared, that is the area of a circle. So all we're doing with a sector is we are looking at the area of a piece of the circle. So if you think of a circle as a piece of pie and we pull out part of that pie, it's just the area of that piece. That's what we're looking for. So our formula is pi r squared times theta. Remember, theta is going to be the measure of the central angle in degrees divided by 360. So we can also look at this formula as the area of the whole circle. Okay, pi r squared is the area of the whole circle times the percent that that piece represents. So theta divided by 360. So let's take a look. If I told you that the radius was 10, what would the area of each of these pieces? So this is a right angle. So we know if we take 360 divided by 4, that each of these represent a 90-degree angle because it's also a right angle. So each of these are 90 degrees. So if I plug into my formula, pi as 3.14, my radius is 10 squared times 90. 90 is the area of the angle, and then divide by 360. So remember, you can just put all this in your calculator. 3.14 times 10 times 10 times 90, divide by 360, and you should get 78.5. So each of these pieces, the area is 78.5. If I were to multiply those by 4, I would see that my whole should be 314, and I can check that. Remember, the area of the whole circle is pi r squared. 3.14 times 10 squared is 314. So there are several questions on the quiz that you have to look at carefully. This one says the area of the circle is 54 pi. What is the area of a 60-degree sector? So let's take a look. If this is a 60-degree sector, we want, what is just this small area? They've given us the area of the whole is 54 pi. So we can use this formula. Remember, this formula is the same as the area of the sector is equal to the area of the whole, I'm just going to abbreviate there, times whatever percentage that is, okay, because the area of the whole is pi r squared. So here they've given us the area of the whole as 54 pi. So I've plugged that in right here. 54 pi times 60 over 360. So when you multiply this out, notice these are all left in terms of pi, so you can leave pi. 54 times 60 divide by 360 gives you 9. You could also take the percentage, and 60 over 360 is 1/6, so 1/6 of 54 is 9 as well. So either way works just fine. All right, this one gives us a 65-degree sector is in a circle has an area of 25.25 pi. What is the area of the circle? So here they're wanting the area of the entire circle, and they've given you the area of the sector. So remember, we can rewrite this formula. The area of the sector is equal to the area of the whole circle times theta over 360. So I'm going to plug in the area of the sector here, 25.25 pi, is equal to the area times 65 over 360. 65 is our sector, 360 is the whole. So a couple ways you can just multiply. We've got to get the area by itself. So I'm going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. Remember, that's going to get, these will cancel, and I'm left with just my area. And so the area of the whole circle is equal to 25.25 times 3.14 times 360. So multiply those three together in the numerator. You'll get this figure here, divide by 65, and you get 439.12. This one says, what is the area of a sector with a central angle of 3 pi over 8 radians and a radius of 14.2 meters? So here they've given us radians. Remember, with this formula, we need theta in degrees. So first step, I've put up the directions here. You're going to convert radians to degrees. To do that, you multiply by 180 over pi. So first is our conversion. So 3 pi over 8 times our conversion factor, 180 over pi. And remember, when you're multiplying these together, you're multiplying the numerators, you're multiplying the denominators. 3 pi times 180 is 540 pi. 8 times pi is 8 pi. Remember, pi over pi is simply 1, right? So we can kind of cancel those out. Since that is equal to 1, 540 divided by 8 is 67.5. So now we have degrees. So now we're going to plug that into our formula. 3.14. Now remember, when they say use 3.14 for pi, don't put in, don't use your pi button on the calculator. Make sure you type in 3.14 times 14.2 times 14.2, since it's squared, times 67.5, divide by 360, you'll get 118.72. Remember, if they say round to the nearest hundredth, that is 2 decimal places. So you'll look at that third decimal place. If it is 5 or greater, you'll go up 1. If it's lower than 5, you'll stay at whatever number you get here. And then the last one is very similar. What's the area of a sector with a central angle of 4 pi over 5 radians? So we've got radians we've got to convert, and a diameter of 18.6. So remember, our formula, we need the radius. So we're going to have to convert this and this. So step 1, we're going to convert this to degrees. So 4 pi over 5 times 180 over pi. Multiply 4 times 180, you get 720. 5 times 1, you get 5. Cross out, we can cancel the pi's. And 720 divided by 5 is 144. All right, so now we have our theta. Now we need our radius. They've given us a diameter of 18.6. Remember, we simply divide by 2 to get our radius, and 9.3 is equal to the radius. So plug that into our formula. 3.14 times 9.3 squared times 144. Put this in your calculator, divide by 360, and you should get 108.63. All right, hope that helps with the quiz. Come to my Raise Your Grade if you still have questions.